So now we're putting the adhesive down. A lot of guys, this is very important as well, will snap a line right next to your vinyl. You don't want to overlap your adhesive from one side to the other. It'll create a line down your vinyl that will never go away. So you gotta make sure that you're pretty darn straight when you're doing up to your vinyl. The nice thing about having the light that it is it gives me my own line off the shadow that I can follow. So that's a cheap way without having to snap a line. That'll give me my line that I do, and when I flip it over to the other side, I'll keep it about 1/8 inch away from the other adhesive. That way it blends in naturally and you won't end up with a real hard line down your flooring that will never go away, which nobody wants. So. And you want to get pretty much the entire floor covered. That way it sticks down real good. And you don't want to have it too dry, so you want to kind of make sure that you're using your notching properly. If you end up with dry spots, it is not good because then your vinyl will not adhere to the floor. Okay, so we got the floor finally glued up. To speed this process up, you can let it dry naturally, but it takes a while, so an easy way to get it to dry faster is to put a fan on it. You just got to make sure you pay attention to it because you don't want to dry it out too fast because then it will flash off and it won't adhere as well, so you kind of have to keep an eye on it. Generally, depending on different adhesives, are different and longer, but usually it's about 10-15 minutes and you should be able to install. So we're starting to put our vinyl in. We're going to put it in nice and gently. We're going to check our backs to make sure we don't have any debris on it because stuff will pick up from the floor even as well as you try to clean it. Just from walking in and out from the job sites, you'll get stuff in your boots. So just pay attention to when you're rolling it back in. You'll see specks or dirt or a little pebble. You don't want that underneath your vinyl because even though it may look insignificant, it'll look like a mountain when it's underneath there. So you got to really pay attention. So we're just going to slowly drop this in. Get it dropped in, this part's very important. Look at this. So you're going to take your roller.
Hang on, show it to me.
And they come in different weights. They come from hundreds, they go to 75, they go all the way down to 25s. You can get weights for them to add extra weight to them. But for this, 75 will work just fine. Actually, I have to get off the keys. And so when you're rolling these, you always start,
yeah, Ron, get out of the way.
You always start in the middle. And the reason behind this is you can see how when we drop this in, how we've got a little bit of wrinkles here and there. If you start in one corner and you try to work your way across the room, then those wrinkles will end up into a pinch point and it'll end up a crease that you'll never get out. So you always start in the middle and you work both directions. You always have to roll your vinyl both directions as well. So I'm going to do this first one this way, and then I turn around and I go the other direction. This little hook knife. My dad started doing flooring when I was a kid, and they only used this to do everything for cutting carpet and vinyl, and you had to sharpen it yourself. And it was quite the process. But anyway, now we kind of use them for tucking stuff in. Before we started this video, I went through and I undercut all my casings to the width of the vinyl. That way I have something to tuck to, and what it makes it look like, it looks like you put the trim down right on top of the vinyl when you get done with it. So it makes a real nice, clean, finished look. So when you're cutting these in, Always want to have a sharp blade, is number one, and especially just in flooring in general. A dull blade will end up getting yourself hurt. You'll end up cutting yourself. So this is the part that actually takes a little bit of skill because you got to pay attention to what you're doing. And you don't want to cut it short because, I mean, a lot of people say you can use some caulking, but I've always had the rule that you shouldn't have to. So I just take a little bit off of that, and I'm just leaving it slightly flashed up. And then I'll take my knife and I'll slowly work that back underneath.
Another way to do it is take the cover off.
If you want to play around with some 220, yes.
He wasn't serious, folks.
When it's all said and done, it looks like it was cut right out of the floor.
Go.
So when you're gluing up your floor, when you're doing your second half, you don't want to overlap your adhesive. What happens is you're putting a second layer of adhesive on that stuff that's already down. And what will happen is when you fold this in, it'll create a line all the way across your floor that you will never get rid of. It'll stay there. And so you always want to keep it just away from the other adhesive. So, because when you roll it in, it'll fill in that gap for you. So we got our seam put together, as you can see, like I was talking about. Once it's put together, it should just look like the rest of the floor when you're done with it. After you get it in, you're going to use a hand roller. You're going to roll your seam with it. You're going to have some adhesive come up in the seam, so get yourself a wet rag so you can wipe it and clean it up, dry it off, and you always want to tape it. And you're going to tape it, you're going to pull it tight because vinyl has a tendency to shrink because it comes in a big roll. And when it's rolled up like that, it stretches it. So you want to make sure that it doesn't move anywhere. And you want to tape it up and leave it there for 24 hours before you apply the seam adhesive. So you just want to take it and just pull it tight into itself. That way it ain't gonna move on you, especially when it starts getting colder like it is outside. A big one is people coming in inside and an exterior door, it gets left open because you got guys working on a job site. Cold definitely causes vinyl to shrink, so this will help protect it. That way you don't have a big gap in your flooring, and then you're like, oh no, I gotta redo this whole thing. Because time is money.
We still have a few things we have to do. We have to put our base cove up around the edges, and then our transitions in the doorway. One thing you guys do want to remember, let this dry 24 hours before you bring any kind of appliances or anything heavy on it, because you can tear it until it completely dries. So it's just better off just to wait on that, on your appliances and moving in your furniture or anything else. Thank you. We're all done. I hope you guys enjoyed. We still have a few things we have left to do. We have to put our base cove around the edges. We have to put our transition at the doorway. One thing we do want to bring up is about letting this cure out at least 24 hours before you bring any kind of furniture in, appliances, or anything else, because you can damage it because if the glue isn't completely set up, so you want to make sure it's cured out. We want you to like it and subscribe. If you have any upcoming things that you want to see, let us know. And if you want to attend any of the Lee Arnold classes, please sign up and you'll be able to learn all this. We teach it. We teach the classes on it, one-on-one with the classroom sizes. So it's great that you like and subscribe. Thank you.
Where do they go? LeeArnoldSystem.com. Come on!
Like it and sorry. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Let us know if you have any future videos that you'd like to see. Please go to leearnoldsystems.com.
That's it. Smile.